Well, hi everybody. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are watching me from. Kind of the way I always start my videos. My name is Sally Roper and I'm coming to you from Jamaica. As you can see, I have my kiln propped. I'm trying to let out some of the heat so that I can unload the kiln. And I have a whole lot of pots sitting in front of me that are ready to go into the kiln. I'll do another firing tonight, tomorrow, which is a bisque firing. Anyway, I thought I would share with you the pieces that I glazed yesterday and fired over, glazed 2 days ago and I fired yesterday. So the kiln is ready to unload today. As I said, I've propped it. I've had a little peek in the inside. I promise you I haven't lifted it any higher than the lid is now, so I don't know really what's deeper in the kiln. I don't know the turnouts. I use primarily a Laguna VMix 5, the new one, and I also use their 391. I'm a little skeptical about their 391 in the way it has reacted with most of the glazes I have. Most of my glazes are opulence dipping glazes. It doesn't seem to play well. I guess it's the iron content or whatever in the darker glaze just doesn't play well with the glazes that I have. So I have some Amico glazes and some Mako glazes. Actually, I don't think I have any Amico. I think it's just Mako glazes. So I'm trying something new and a few test pots. And if I like them, I have more pots in the background waiting to glaze if it works out. So this is going to be fun because there are things in there that I just have no idea what they're going to look like. But what I can tell you is the pieces that are on the top that I have had a little tiny peek at are really nice. So with no further ado, let me get the lid open and start unloading the kiln, and I'll tell you all the glazes that I use to complete these. So with that being said, I'm going to scoot to my studio, which is around the corner, for 1 second, and I'm going to get my glaze book. So hold on. Okay, so like I always do, I keep a very detailed record of all of the glazing that I do, so that in case somebody says to me, I really, really like that, well, I know how I did it. Because even as much as we like to think we have great memories and we remember, even the next day we forget the combinations that we've made. So here we go. All right. So I have a few test pieces, and this is going to be all telling for me. These are little test tiles that I have, and I just string them on a bead wire and rest them between two posts. So I'm going to get back to this because the pieces that I experimented with are underneath, and I want to see how it goes. So I'll get back to that. Anyway. I've gone a little bit taller. I'm really excited about this piece. Actually, this is one of three. So this is 4, 8, 12. This is 12 inches tall, and it is 4 inches wide. My hands are exactly 4 inches, so it's easy for me to measure the finished piece. I'm ecstatic about how this turned out. I used Opulence sea spray on the bottom, and I went up to about here, and then I turned it upside down and I dipped it in Opulence eggshell, and I went up to about here. So there's a slight bit of overlap in the carved out area. This turned out way better than I had anticipated. It's one of three, and I will show you the other two in a second. I'm really, really, really happy. These are the tallest pieces that I've made. So it's pretty exciting. And the next one is done the same. It's Opulence sea spray on the bottom and Opulence eggshell on the top. Again, I dipped it, and then when I poured it out, I let the pour go out through the holes. I didn't want to dip it out completely like that. I didn't want green on the inside of the top section. So the holes there were very, very accommodating for me to pour out the glaze. So I dipped it in, let it fill up, poured it out, and then again I dipped the rim into eggshell. And the third one of this series is the opposite. So I did eggshell on top. They have a base, eggshell on top, and sea spray on top and eggshell on the bottom. So this is what they would look like together. So if I had a third hand, I would show you all three of them, but I'm hoping that somebody will buy them all in a set because they're really quite gorgeous. So I hope you like them. It was tough making them because I haven't gone that tall. I have thrown things to maybe 10 inches, but the tallest one there is 14 inches. So that's pretty exciting for me. As you get better, you can get taller. So this, when I looked in the kiln, I thought was going to be really, really lovely, but I did not do a very good job in the glazing. I may reglaze and put other glaze on it and try and fire it again. You can see the unevenness. This is again with the Laguna 3. Let me raise this up so I don't chop my head off. The Laguna 391 clay, which comes out very, very dark, almost black, but definitely a very, very dark brown. And this is I rested it on a pedestal and I poured Jess Chun blue on the outside. You get that at Clayscapes Pottery. And it's just one coat. And I guess as I let it just sit, it kind of dripped and got a little thicker around the rim, which actually I don't really mind, but I do have like a bald spot or two. And then this is a serious overlap, probably where I poured it around and then I got an overlap here. And then on the inside, I kind of held it, I believe I probably held it here, and then I think I might have held it here. And then I poured it on the inside and it kind of coagulated a bit down here. And then I turned it upside down and poured in there. And I'm not very good at pouring the inside of bowls, especially with a sensitive glaze like Jess Chun Blue. But I like how it's going to turn out, so I think what I might do is reglaze it, and I will put another layer of the blue on the inside, probably on the outside as well. So stay tuned, and I'm not going to get to it right away, but I will address it at some point because right now it is well below my standards, not of the clay or the glaze, but of the artist who didn't do a very good job glazing it. I'm a follower of Bill Van Gilder, and he recently posted something about doing some marbling. So I did some marbling again with the 391 and the Laguna B mix. It's a process, and then I dipped it in in Jess Chun Blue. I like the way Jess Chun Blue works with my 391 clay, I must tell you. And you can certainly see the difference between it reacting on the white clay and the dark clay. It's very different. Again, I did a lousy job of glazing it. I have another one which I did a much better job. Inside, you can't really see it, but it's Jess Chun Blue. It's very thin on the rim. So again, the fault is not with the glaze or the form. The fault is with the glazer, which is me. And this is the mate, and it's much better. I learned from my mistakes on doing the first one, and I probably should have just taken all the glaze off and started again. But this one came out much more consistent and evenly because of the way I glazed it. And again, I just put it upside down and I poured it. Is that what I did? Yeah, I think I did, because I don't have it deep enough to do an actual dip. I had to pour, but I just did a much better job of pouring. So I really like it, and I love the difference of the way the B mix and the 391 striate and get all those stripes. So I did a good job, and again, it's just plain in the inside, just the Chun blue. So one of the glazes that I have in here, it says best to fire it to cone 6. So I did fire. I've been firing to cone 5.5 pretty consistently, but this time I did, and remember these witness cones measure the heat work inside my kiln. I fired my kiln this time to 2188 Fahrenheit with a 15-minute hold, and I got a proper cone 6. This one is cone 5, which is of course laying flat. This one is cone 6, and you can see the nice little bend. It probably went just a little smidge beyond cone 6. Maybe if I held it for 10 minutes instead of 15, I'd have a perfect bend. But I'm not disappointed because this has come out exactly the way I needed it to come out. All right. Now I have advancer shelves, and I got a bit of a drip from the bowl, which won't be a problem because I have the scraper, and that's just going to come straight off. So I'm happy for that. All right. So I have a series of mugs that I did, and I dipped them all. These are all Amico. For the next little bit is Amico glazes. And anyway, this is snow on the outside and weeping plum on the inside. I'm really happy. So what I did was I poured the weeping plum on the inside and poured it out, and then I took some Mark's wax on, and I just waxed the rim of this just in case when I dipped it into the white, I didn't want the white overlapping with the Amico Celadons. And so I have a bunch that are like this, but this is really beautiful. And I've done ones where I've done the color on the outside and white on the inside, but I think I really like the color on the inside and the white on the inside. Now, I'm not a coffee drinker, but I'm hoping that people I sell to will like these as much as I do. So again, I do things in pairs. So there's a second one of the weeping plum, and you can see how pretty it is on the rim. I'm really glad I took the time to, after I glazed it, to make sure that I had a sharp line across the top. Again, I waxed it. I waxed the rim, and then when I dipped it in, I was very, very careful not to let it flow inside or cause any issues. And in that instance, the glazer did a great job. Okay, I have them in pairs. So this is Sky, Mako Celadon Sky. It's a lovely, well, it's a sky blue, and well, I gotta tell you something. It's pretty true to form. The sky right now is incredibly blue in Jamaica, and or where I am. So that's really gorgeous, and it has its mate. So really happy with those. Again, the outside of all of these mugs is snow, Amico snow. And what I did was I also thought I would do a lighter version. Now, what I did was I took some of the Celadon and I mixed it with 50% of the colored Celadon and 50% of the mixing clear. And I get a lighter version, and I've done one, and I hope that you can see the difference in color. That's the same sky. So this one here is 50% sky and 50% mixing clear, and this one is just full sky. So it's a little bit lighter. I like pastel colors, and it's a different shaped mug, which is how I know which is which. And I'm thrilled beyond words with these. And this one is, I believe, lavender. Had a huge problem with my lavender. I bought weeping plum, marigold, aqua, lavender all at the same time. My lavender is hard panned to the point where it's concrete. I can't even stick anything in it to try and break it up. I've just written Amico, and I hope that that they will respond favorably, or let me know maybe how to fix it. But it's hard to fix a glaze once it's hard panned. So I have I had a little batch of 50-50 with the lavender and the mixing clear, so I was able to glaze this cup, and it almost looks like it's gray, but I promise you it's lavender purple. And this one is 50-50 mixing clear and marigold, and this one is 50-50 with weeping plum. Again, I'm thrilled with how they came out, and I'll take pictures and put them on my Facebook page and share them with the various groups that I follow. Pardon my back. Okay, just a couple of textured trays that I have. This one is done in snow, and they've just been sitting around waiting to get into the kiln, so I had a little space, so I put them in the kiln. And this one is Amico poppy, and I brushed it on. I have their poppy in brushing form as opposed to dipping glazes, so I really like how that came out. I love how the texture is well, that's what celadons do. Celadons are amazing if you have anything with texture. A couple of pinholes in this one. I tried to rub them out. They're not really noticeable. They're not going to affect the value or the attractiveness of that tray. Okay. Okay, I have a couple of posts that have stuck to my kiln shelf, so I will worry about getting those off later. I'm just glad it's the kiln shelf and not the pots that are underneath it. Okay. I have a project that I'm working on, and I'll show you what it is, because these ones are about to go in for bisque firing. I have these cookie jars, little mini cookie jars with lids, and I've strategically placed the lids above the cookie jar because they're all made to fit. And so I'm just going to lift my whole tray up. I don't want to disturb the order that the lids are in, because they match the order that the pots are in underneath it. Carefully lifting out. So there you see what I have. I'm carefully lifting out all of the lids, and I'm going to just rest that on the ground, because in the back here I have pots that are to match it. So this is what I have, and this is with Opulence Blue Monday. And there you have the lid that's going to go with it. And I don't have enough stilts to be able to fire the bottom, so I left the bottom unglazed so I could rest it on the shelf. And this is perfect. Perfect for what my client wants. I have 70 of them to make, so I have a dozen in this one. It's turned out really, really well. The lid fits really, really nicely. It's a winner. I have 12 of them, so I'm just going to quickly take them out. Okay, that's that. And if you don't mind the blank screen, I just have this on the floor, but I'm just going to match these up now with their respective lids. And they really are fitting nicely, which is my intention. bit of run on one of them. I think that's that one. Okay. And I have, oh gosh, I'm starting to sweat. I have some more of these mugs. This one is lavender. That's the real deal. That's 100% lavender. And I had it in a brushing glaze, so that's how come I'm able to use it again. My dipping glaze hard pen. And this is my marigold and marigold. Really happy with how these turned out. It's very hot in my kiln room, but it's also very hot in Jamaica. So of more of these, just 2 more of these cookie jars. Again, Opulence Blue Monday lid. Okay. I'm sorry guys, I'm wilting. Taking a second to look at this. I saw somebody posted online using frosted lemon on a dark clay, and I thought I would try the same thing. He said just 3 coats of the frosted lemon. So when I use my 391 clay, after I trim it, I use a slip of B-mix on the inside, just because I don't trust what it's going to do on the outside. So this has gone like a very almost brownish. It's not frosted lemon. It doesn't look anything like the picture I tried to copy. The inside looks really lovely, but the outside is really dark. And not sure what I'm going to do about that. I guess I could just leave it. It's actually not too bad if you have natural light. And this one is Raspberry Mist. It's come out a little better. It's 3 very heavy coats, and again I had the white B-mix slip on the inside of this, but there's really not a whole lot of difference between the inside and the outside of the Raspberry Mist. First time using it. And this one is not even close to a picture I was trying to copy. It was 3 times rainforest with 2 coats of I have to stop for a minute. I'm going to stop and I'm going to do a second video. Ugh. Sorry guys, I just need a minute before I finish.